Hi. So, I don't plan on being on here very long. Like a half an hour at the most. I'm probably not going to be paying attention to the chat, but I did want to explain why I haven't been on the last few days. Um, yeah, I was having some weird pains on the 28th, and it turned out I need my gallbladder removed. So they did that, and I've been, a little too miserable to actually stream. We found out yesterday that I screwed up a little bit. And it really sucks because I'm off by one. That's all I'm off by, is one. Um, really sucks. But it'll be okay. Or at least, pretty sure it's just off by one. Um, yeah, so I went and, yeah, my husband just wanted to go to the clinic because it's a lot closer. I'm like, no, this is like before. So I had a bladder infection before. Um, anyway, the the yeah, it was like that kind of pain, and I'm like, okay, well that's probably what it is. So we went in there, and to the hospital, and no, it's worse than that. But then I was talking to me at Ruby yesterday-ish. Might have been the day before, but anyway, she's like, your great grandma had it out, and your grandma had it out, and your aunt Susie had it out, and I had it out, and my cousin Marcel did too. He's male, but he had it out too. So so she's like, it was probably just your time. I'm like, okay. So I've been kind of trying to rest. Um, yeah, I've been trying to rest the last few days, and I'm actually able to make it up and down the stairs and to the bathroom and everything. So I'm pretty happy about that. It's still a little sore, but getting there. It kind of sucks though because like you know we've got three cats and they want to cuddle with Mama, and I can't let them uh sit on my tummy like they usually do. But yeah, I didn't know how much I was gonna want to do this. I didn't know if I was gonna want to do this, but oh yeah, I didn't explain that properly. Hold on a sec. Okay, so we're at the spot where there's houses. Well, on one of the streets, way down at the end there. Okay, so normally there's one, two, three, four, five. And then there's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then one, two, three, four, five. Well, in that house down there, I had 5, 19, and 5. And it is very important to have 20. So, so my son was on with me. I asked him, can you move this over one space? And he did it. I was super happy about it. I mean, I know he knows how to use command blocks. It's just, nothing went wrong. So, sometimes it doesn't, not all the time, but sometimes he goes and does something and it's like the building's like, say, through the floor or something like that. I just made up that scenario. But, yeah, so I'm probably not going to be on here very long because I did take my medicine this morning. Um, Took it about 2 hours ago. It didn't feel like it was going to be putting me to sleep, but I don't know. I wanted to work on my story today a little bit, but it didn't work out that way. Because, I watch a whole bunch of different YouTube videos, and I was trying to get those all into the list so I could be like, okay, when I do feel better, I can watch these. Because, I was trying. Ow. Hold on. Ah. It's like you get a little too slouchy and something starts hurting. It's kind of funny because they went and they've got medical glue. I don't know what you really call it, but medical glue. So like instead of um stapling you back together or using stitches, they use this medical glue. And I wouldn't have known about it at all whatsoever, except for that when my daughter was about 1 years old. Um, she liked to go and pick up Grandma's bell. Grandma's bell makes pretty noises, and she'd go and pick that bell up, and then she'd run down the hall with it. Well, this time she tripped, and she hit her head on the closet door. Um, it's closet door like, the sliding closet doors, like in a bedroom, but for some reason they're in the hallway. Anyway, she hit her head on it and she cracked her head open. And of course, I didn't have my driver's license at the time, so it was like trying to call my sister in law, but she's given um, my nephew and my niece a bath at the time. And so I'm like, okay, I don't want to call this number because, what if I'm bugging them or something? But, I got to get my kid to the doctor and I didn't want to, I didn't want to call the ambulance for some reason. Probably because I knew it was going to be expensive. Um, but anyway, I called my, uh, my sister-in-law's mom and she finally got a hold of, she finally got a hold of my sister-in-law. Anyway, we finally got over there and they medical glued her head back together. So she's got a cute little scar, kind of like Harry Potter's, on her head. And I know that everybody says that your head doesn't grow, like after you're born, your head doesn't grow. But that is so stupid because I know for a fact that that scar was over on the right hand side of my daughter's face, and then um, or left side. I think it's the left side, or maybe in the middle. Okay, I can't remember right now. But anyway, it was in one side, on one side of her head, and then now it's, like over to where you can't even tell that it's there. Anyway, that's kind of dumb anyway because I'm pretty sure your head does grow after you're born. I don't know. People are weird. Um, so yeah, I've been trying to do stuff that's like super easy and I don't have to think about it too much on this build. Um, I tried to do my dream snap yesterday. Actually, I think I did pretty good. It's not going to be, 4,000 moonstones necessarily, but I think it's going to be pretty good. Um, but I tried to do that yesterday, and that was a little too much stress for me. Actually, I got pretty high tags for it not being okay. Um, yeah, I thought it was pretty weird though. I went in there and they they needed me to do the P-test thing. I know, I'm talking about stuff that I wouldn't normally talk about on a stream. And I do apologize for that, for the people who are totally grateful for me not talking about that stuff. But, this is all explaining why I haven't been here the last few days. Um, but yeah, they needed me to do the P-test, and finally I was able to do it. Well, the problem is that it was that time of the month, too. So I freaked out the poor nurse, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, okay." Because you do not want to have blood when you're going pee, unless it's that time of the month. And you're typically female when that happens, so. But yeah, I freaked out the poor nurse. I didn't mean to, but we got that all figured out. And they figured out, no, it's not a bladder infection. It's worse than that. And I kind of feel like, people should have told me that this might have been a thing. If great grandma had to get it out, and grandma had to get it out, and Aunt Susie, and Aunt Ruby, and my cousin, that should have been a thing that people told me. I mean, I remember them telling me about Aunt Susie, but I didn't know that she had to, like, get anything removed like that. Anyway. So, yeah, I think I'll be on here for a little bit longer. I was trying to have a video every single day. That obviously didn't work, but, I missed a couple of days just because I missed a couple of days. Or because I wasn't home to stream. In this case, it's I wasn't home to stream. Ow! Yeah, I'm still at that phase where I need to, like, I think they put a tube down my throat so I could breathe, and that messed things up because I've been breathing like I was crying for the last 6 hours. Like, if this happens one more day, I'm probably gonna, ask my husband to take me over there and just make sure everything's okay. Yeah, see. Well, we could bust this down to two. Oh, yeah. That was the problem. That was the problem. I don't have this with me. And I don't have that with me. Um, I don't know. Lumiere. Oh, I'm half-heartedly watching, I mean, I would be full-heartedly watching it, but I decided I was going to stream for a little bit here. That's not a fair question. Okay, so I'm catching up with my YouTube for the last several days. In there's a park pass. There's a park pass stream that I missed, and he's doing like Trivia Pursuit. Oh, LeFou. Okay, I guess it is but I thought it was a different guy. Anyway, he's doing like Trivia Pursuit questions, and they're supposed to be answerable. Um, like if you've seen these movies, you're supposed to be able to answer it. And one of the questions was a picture of Lumiere and who tried to melt him with a torch, something like that. And it's LeFou, but I thought it was just some random guy, so I was. But I should have thought about that better because, LeFou's the kind of guy that he's the bad guy minion, so he'd want to pick on somebody even smaller than him. So even though he's not, oh hey, even though Lumiere's not small when he's a human, he is small when he's Candelabra. Anyway, it was really weird because I was like, something's gonna happen today. On the 28th, I was thinking, it's the day after my birthday, too. That was, I was so grateful. I was so grateful that it was not the day of my birthday. Um, so on my birthday, we got to, um, hang out, play video games. I think we went out to dinner. Yeah. We went out to, I call Dairy Queen ice cream because that's the only thing I can never remember is that you get ice cream with the food. Um, but I've been trying to train myself to remember it's Dairy Queen, not ice cream, because Because the only person who's going to understand Dairy Queen out of, the word ice cream is my husband. Well, the word's ice cream. But anyway, we went over to Dairy Queen and had dinner, and then we went to the movie theater. Oh, dang it. Yay. Anyway, then we went over to the movie theater and got popcorn, and by that time it was already like 9 o'clock, or oh, I don't know how late it was actually. I think it was past that. But anyway, we got a big bucket of popcorn for me and a big bucket of popcorn for him. And I felt bad because I couldn't eat that much of it because I was still having salt problems at the time. There's a very good chance that that's not going to be as much of a problem anymore. I don't know why, but gallbladders cause weird issues. And, I was talking to them like all day long about, this bugs me and that bugs me, like cheese and sugar and oh, and I am not diabetic. They assure me I am not diabetic. I'm still wondering why sugar, was bugging me so much then, but they said I was not diabetic, so that's something I, don't have to worry about so much. But like I was having problems with salt, cheese, and wheat. And so far, some of that has felt better. Like I've been able to eat. Well, I don't know how much salt the Great Value Fritos have on them. The Walmart brand. I don't know how much salt they had on them to begin with, because I usually get the blue bag because it says lightly salted or something like that on it. Or not salted. I think lightly. Anyway, I get that usually. And my husband, he didn't mean to, but he screwed up and got the one that he would usually get for himself. And I've been eating those, and I'm like, hey, this isn't bugging me. Normally I could eat like 2 Fritos and that would be it. So yeah, but like the whole day I wasn't freaking out, and then like all of a sudden they're talking about giving me anesthesia and all that, and I'm like, okay, yeah, Cheryl's gone, and Mom's gone, and Uncle Jerry, and yeah. And the list went on, of course, and I listed every single one of them, and I was just a little worried, and I wanted to keep my cell phone in my hand, but they did have a point there that they couldn't be sure that it was going to stay that way. I was pretty damn sure that I've got that stuck in my head. Hold on to your cell phone. That it was going to stay there, but it ended up going in the the bag that all your stuff goes into. Um, I've had that like that in my head for a very long time, because one time I was trying to drive to South Lake Tahoe and I hit black ice. I ended up getting stuck inside this tunnel called Cave Rock. And this really nice person helped me get my car out of that area and into a dirt patch between the two parts of the road. because there was the part of the road that goes into South Lake Tahoe, and then there was the one that the part that goes back the way I came, and yeah, I hit black ice. I you know kind of bounced around inside there, and like I said, the guy got me over to the dirt patch, so I was okay. I have my cell phone with me. I had enough charge to call my husband. I was okay. I felt more bad that he wasn't going to be able to go to work the next day than that I was, pretty much far away from home. If I had to, I could walk home. But, you know, it would have taken a freaking long time, but, I was okay. But the cop that stopped, decided to give me a speeding ticket, because I was obviously going too fast for the road. I probably could have argued it. I probably could have argued it, seriously. But I didn't. But yeah, so after my surgery, basically I woke up and they didn't even have me stay the night or anything. They sent me home. I didn't like that. Normally after surgery they go and make sure that you have all your bodily functions working. We'll put it that way. Um, that you have all your bodily functions working before you leave. But or they'll have you stay the night because you're that out of it. And I think that's what they should have done. But there could be two things going on with that. Maybe they thought it was just routine enough procedure that I could go home, go to bed. But also, maybe they remembered dealing with my mother-in-law and thought I was going to be the same way. I think I would have been like so reasonable. But like I think it would have been better if I would have been stayed one night. And then maybe they would have been able to breathe, monitor my breathing and see that I'm not breathing normally. It's just a little bit of not breathing properly, but it's enough. So, what time is it? Oh, okay. So normally I would go until 11, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that today. The question is, when did the Muppets appear? He said 1955 and it really was. I thought they were like 1970. Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. He said he says the Muppets are doing are celebrating 70 years, and so is Disneyland, so it made sense. Anyway, so for the next couple of days, I'll probably be doing shorter streams, but maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll feel like doing a full stream. I don't know. I did not feel like doing GTA today. That stresses me out a lot. Oh yeah, that was something that happened. Oh my goodness. Usually, I don't have high blood pressure, or at least I don't think I do. Um, and on Monday, that was the 28th. On Monday, my blood pressure was 60 points above what it was supposed to be. And I did not think that was okay. As soon as I heard that, I tried to, calm down as much as possible. But I was worried because, we've had so many deaths in the family the last few years. And not all of them were, like a ripe old age where, it was like, okay, they've lived a good long life. Okay. So, I think what I'm going to do. I've been drinking. Okay, so my throat kind of hurts, probably because they put a tube down there to help me breathe. Um, and I don't know why, but like I've had a weird feeling in my mouth ever since. Also, so because of both of those things, I've been drinking more water than I have been, so I've been having to go upstairs more. It's not fun to go up the stairs when you know it's going to hurt when you come back down. Going up is okay, but when you come back down, it kind of hurts. And it's been hurting my ankle too. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back. But I do have to go potty. So, that was so annoying. Okay, so my batteries are a little funky for my controller because, like, I use them all the time. Um, Makes sense, but I use them, like, all day. So, you end up, so they're, with my, uh, with my chargers, they end up flashing. And that's pretty much a brand new charger. So I'm thinking it's the spot that we plugged it in at. Oh, okay. Anyway, I think it's the spot that we plugged it in at. So then we're gonna have to go and figure out a new place to plug it in at, and I don't know how we're gonna do that, but we're gonna figure out something. Um, so yeah, I need to go to the bathroom. I don't mind staying on here. And I made sure that it's in, oh wait, so my husband said that do not disturb mode was the one where they can't bug you and they can't get on, but that's not true. He got it backwards because my son was able to get on just, no problem yesterday. And then when I'm on, appear offline, then he can't get on here. Looks like I'm not on at all. Or at least that's the way Squibs treats it. So, um, like, I don't mind. I really don't mind playing with our son. But at the moment, it's like I need to relax. I need to recuperate. I need to get to feeling 100% better instead of mostly. And, yeah, I lost what I was saying. Because, Chris from Park Pass, he always gives these amazing, uh, I don't want to say a speech, but, these amazing, oh, pep talks. Yeah, that's a good way to explain it. Pep talks to make us feel better. And, uh, like, if we're in a place like right now where I'm not, I'm not in, like, pain. It just doesn't feel right at the moment. And, like, yesterday, or was it the day before that? It literally felt like something was like my I'm gonna call it torso. So, like, between my waist and my and the bottom of my throat, somewhere in there, it felt like something was a pendulum, and that's the thing in a grandfather clock that goes left and right. Um, that's why in high school that one book or short story, whatever it is called The Pit and the Pendulum. Um, but Yeah, it literally felt like there was something like that inside me yesterday. And or yeah, it was either yesterday or the day before that. Anyway, and then yesterday it just kind of felt like yesterday it felt like if you take off part of my stomach, I'd be skinny like I was in high school, and and I'd feel all better. Yeah, I've been feeling a little weird since my surgery. And I think it's kind of funny that, they used medical glue to put me back together. And yeah. I actually like medical glue. It's pretty cool. Because, like my grandpa had, I think he had a heart attack. And they had to go and open him up and make sure that he was okay and everything. Or they had to reset his heart or something like that. you I don't know what they do when they open you up, but they had to do something like that. So he had this big old scar. He had this big old scar from like at least from his belly button to the top part of his chest. And I was like, I would not like that to happen to me. And so they had to go and take out my gallbladder, which I didn't know was one of those things that if they had to take it out, it was still okay. Yeah, because like if they take your appendix out, that's just normal, apparently. You like don't need your appendix. The they say that you only have an appendix because like back when we were um like back when we were cavemen, we needed our appendix to like eat bark, eat wood, and we don't need that anymore. I don't know if that's true, but that's what they say. So, yeah, I still have to go to the bathroom. What? Okay. That's a tricky question. Like I said, he's doing Trivia Pursuit questions, and it says, "Who does Scar scheme with during the song Be Prepared?" And the answer is the hyenas, but that doesn't quite make sense. Anyway, I think it was this one right here was only 19 across. One, two, three, four, five. And then now it's 20 across. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah. And then one, two, three, four, five. I gotta fix that. Anyway, and then I had him scoot this one over. And then I had to scoot that over. Yeah. You know, like that. And then anyway, I have to go upstairs and take care of business again. Um, I've had to do that at least 3 times today. That's why I'm saying again. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to share why I haven't been on, and I will probably wait until Sunday to be back on again. I don't know. It's gonna depend on how I feel tomorrow. Pretty much I'm okay. It's just that certain activities like breathing hurt a little, and I don't want to be, whining about it the whole time. Uh, anyway, um, so please check out my books on Amazon. Just type, go on Amazon, type in Tina Rash books, and you should find all six of them: Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times, Esperanza's Party, The Island, and Adopted Coral. And right now I'm working on Lessons in Love. So, yeah. If you're watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell. If you're watching me on Twitch right now, please follow and chat. And I will see you in the next streamer video.